Welcome to this week's episode of the Big Eyes Podcast. We are the two warlords of this manga shit. You know what I mean? You know who it is. I'm as always it's your host LJ, and
Boy,
AD.
already know.
What's good with it?
Already know we out here running the seas, this manga seed, you know what I'm saying? Bro, manga.
Man, listen, we running the manga series right now, dog. That's what we doing. We just we controlling the wave right
That's
now.
what I'm saying. Controlling it. Like, it's really crazy though. This, like, when it comes to like manga and anime and everything, this is really like a sea. Like, there's so much stuff that's like out here now, bro.
Oh,
like, it's ridiculous.
There's a lane for everybody. There's a lane for everybody. There's something for everybody. I mean, that's the best thing about it is like, the manga is so damn big. It's like it's just like whatever you want. You can go as innocent to as dramatic as demon time as you want. Like, bro, it's whatever you want. If you want pure violence, like there's something for you. If you want some cute shit, like there's something for you. Like, man, that's the best thing about like all of this. It's like, there's so much shit, and it's a lot of good shit too.
Yeah.
With hidden. I mean, there's some trash, but like whatever. Who cares about that? But like,
I'll give like everything like at least like with anime, I'll give everything like 5 episodes. People used to have like the 3-episode rule, but nowadays like because seasons are like 12 episodes and they get released, now I'm like, all right, I'll give it 5 episodes. I'll give it half. Because if it don't appeal me to after the first 5 or 6 episodes, I'm like, yeah, no, I'll drop it. But then with manga, it's like, all right, that first chapter, it got to slap. I'm sorry. First chapter by default got to slap. And there's so many first chapters that just like either are great or just like, but there's something for everybody though.
You only give things one chapter?
I do give things like one chapter. I give a lot of stuff one chapter. So, like, what was it? Assassin's Pride? I gave that, like, 1 chapter, and I was like, yeah, nah, this is not for me. There's a lot of stuff that I give, like, one view, and I'm like, nope, not worth my time. But I'll also watch shonen. I'll also go through phases, bro. Like, every few months, I'll be like, all right, I'm finna just sit down and watch sports anime, and I'll go through, like, sports anime. Then I'll go, like, fantasy, and then I'll go, like, isekai. So, I'm weird, bro. That's me. That's just my personal thing. But if it's like 1 episode or 1 chapter, then I'm like, if it don't grab me in that first time, I'm like, nah, I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's not worth my time.
That's crazy. You are, wow. I at least give things 5 chapters. I give it 5. Just because it's just like, okay, first chapter maybe. I think first chapter is even if it's like, all right, and I'll go on to the next one because sometimes shit just picks up or like, whatever. So I give things at least 5 chapters. I mean, granted, I always appreciate a banging first chapter. If your first chapter like goes stupid, like right out the park, listen, you got me. But if it's like, I don't know, like I'll tune in. But if by chapter 5, I'm just like, I'm not feeling this shit. Like,
but see, that's
I did it.
With me. It's like I get that, and I agree to an extent. But it's like with me, it's because it's so much good stuff out here. It's like, all right. So I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I don't just like drop everything right away. I'll be like, all right. So that first chapter, I see the promise in it, and then I'll keep going. Like, I also have a list of like stuff that I dropped like after like 10 chapters, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just wait for the anime to come out. I got like a whole bunch of those. But like, as far like, I do try to give things the proper care or the proper attention. So when I do finally make that decision of whether or not I want to keep reading or whether or not I want to drop for the anime or just like it's not worth my time altogether, I at least considered all the possibilities. But then there are some like I'll say it took me a long time to get into JoJo's, like just because of the art style. It took me so long to get into JoJo. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I watched the first 3 episodes.
It was hard for me to get into JoJo's at first because I didn't get into JoJo's until like when there's already like 4 parts out. So I was like, damn, I don't like at first I was just confused as hell on where to start. I'm like, all right, where should I start? No, there's anything I should skip. Listen, bro, I'm the type of nigga I don't care if you spoil shit for me. But I'm gonna go to you and be like, listen, bro, is there anything I need to skip? Is there anything like give it to me straight? Like, give it to me straight. Like, man, I don't care about spoilers or any of that. Like, I still, someone telling me something happened and then me visually actually seeing it is just too different. Like, it's 2 different effects for me. Like, you could sit there, you could you can tell a whole entire, like someone could have, tell me a whole entire movie that I haven't seen yet, and I just wouldn't even. That doesn't phase me. Like, okay, cool, I'm gonna still go see the movie because then, like, when I actually see it and visually see it, I'm like, oh, like this hits way different than like someone just telling me.
Because it's also like, well, it's part you only imagine what they're telling you, and then you forget kind of half the details. So it's like, well, I don't really have the full picture in my head. So once I personally see it, and I'm like, oh, this shit's amazing, this shit's banging, like, then that makes the entire difference. So I feel the same way on that. Like, I don't care if anybody spoils me or something until I'm actually like reading something, and then like it's around the area or that person or whatever incident or whatever happens gets mentioned, and it's like just there. I'm like, oh damn, like I wish I didn't know that. That shit would have probably hit out of left field. Like, that shit's crazy. Like,
yeah. I will say this though, when it comes to any like manga or anything anime related, if it's anything like mecha, so if it has any fucking robots in it, or if that bitch got any spaceships in it, it's an automatic go for me. I don't give a fuck. I will give you all. I'll give you all the time in the world. If you got aliens or some shit in it, listen, bro, you got me. Let's get it. Like, let's go, bro. I like anything in space. I like anything dealing with like big ass robots fighting.
Oh,
like,
man,
all that. Like, I like, bro, like Gundam.
I was about to say
Gundam so fucking much. I know. I really don't think people understand like how much I actually really fucking love Gundam. Like, I love fucking Gundam, dog. Like, I think Gundam is so tight. First of all, is because I want a big ass robot where I could just go like hop in and just start wrecking shit with. Like, that's a goal of mine. Like, dead ass. And once I make enough bread, I'm buying me an actual like working Gundam suit. It may not be the biggest fucking thing in the world, but I bet y'all it's gonna work.
That mobile suit gonna be terrorizing people. You gonna be out here on these protests like, all right. So what?
Hey, listen, listen, bro. Listen, I'm pulling up to the protest in the Gundam suit. Weapons out, bro. Shoulder guns, everything. What's poppin'? No justice, no peace. Homie, what's good? Bro, listen, I promise
the people's Gundam. The people's Gundam.
Hey, the people's Gundam. That's gonna be me. So listen, listen. Y'all keep playing. Y'all keep prolonging giving us rights. I'm gonna pull up from lunch. Y'all gonna mess around and wait too long. I'm gonna get my bread up.
Nigga gonna hit you with a burning finger for real.
Man, listen, for real, bro. Oh my, I promise you. Listen, the people's Gundam, that's gonna be me. That is going to be me 110%.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
You know, oh man, but you know, we are man, skip it. We just gonna go like right into. I mean, we already talking about it. Our July manga of the month.
Yeah.
World Trigger. So thank you to everyone who have voted. Thank you to everyone that even gave suggestions. All that everyone's voted and got participated. Thank you guys so much. So me and AD, like you said, every month we are going to do a manga of the month. It's gonna be a manga that we read, throughout the month. And at the last episode of, last Thursday or last episode of the month, we will, just talk about it and just, what our thoughts were and all that. So July, World Trigger. AD, have you kind of watched World Trigger, like seen that before or anything like that?
So I've seen parts of the anime. Like, I know the anime is coming back for a second season. So shout out to World Trigger. This is actually like kind of perfect timing that we're doing this in the first place. Like, so for everybody that voted on World Trigger, like, appreciate it. But I've seen parts of the anime. I've gotten to the point where they actually get to the headquarters and they meet Jin for the first time. That's where I kind of was in the anime. And, like, it's cool. I like it. I like the style. But the one thing that threw me off with the anime, and I hope once we dive into the manga that it fixes this correctly, I feel like there should be a whole lot more blood. I feel like there should be niggas, like, losing limbs and shit. Like, in the anime, they have, like, sparkles of, like, digitized pixels or whatever like that whenever they use their triggers and everything. So I'm just like, bro, like, I know he lost the arm. This man should be like bleeding out of commission. Like, what is going on? So that's just something with me. But otherwise, I like the style. I like the use of triggers. I like the fact that they have like different levels to their abilities. I like the fact that what's his name, Yuma, comes from a different place. I like the fact that the fucking enemies are called neighbors because they come from another world and that's parallel to this one. So fucking neighbors. I like all of that. That's kind of the whole premise is interesting to me. So I'm with it.
Yeah, no, I've already jumped into it, so I got like 10 chapters in.
Okay.
And so far, like I enjoy it. Like, so far I'm enjoying it. I like the, like I said, man, listen, if you got aliens got anything to do with that, you already got me. So I was just like, so when I started reading it, I'm like, oh, bro, we got like these, different aliens coming, they going back and forth between worlds. I like the fact that there are these two worlds are very similar.
Yeah.
And they've been kind of like near each other for a very long time, but like they still don't know much about each other.
Yeah.
Like even when when Yuma finally makes his appearance and starts talking about like, oh no, actually that creature is a this and this and that, and like Osamu was like, what? Like,
how do you know?
And like, yeah, like how do you know? And all these things, and he's like, oh, I'm from the other side. And it's just it's crazy that now you are before they have this very kind of bleak knowledge is just about what the other side is really about. Who the neighbors really are. He's like, no, that's not a neighbor. That's that's a this and that. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's cool because it's like it gives you a little bit more that you're kind of like wanting to know, like off back. Like, dang, I want to know more about this world. Like, what's like really going on with it? Like, why is this like war going on between these two worlds? It draws a lot of questions. That's one thing I'm enjoying about it. I like the introduction of kind of like, okay, do I really like? Because I'm thinking about it because it's like power levels. They introduce kind of power levels. I like how they go together with the trigger.
Yeah,
like it's kind of like that. It's kind of like what your how strong your spirit is how strong your trigger is, which is cool. But like, I hope that isn't a thing where it's just like now they're about to start measuring it, and they it's called a Tryon.
Tryon. Yeah,
your Tryon level, or like your Tryon, and that's like it's a secret gland next to your heart, and like it's pretty much like your spirit. It's like your chakra. You know what I'm saying? And you how strong your Tryon is, or your Tryon gland is how powerful your trigger or your weapon can be. I know I like that because it does. I mean, hopefully it allows like one of those things where it's like the stronger the character goes, the stronger his Tryon like gets. I hope it's not like a set thing where it's like regardless of how strong you get, like you have this certain level of power, type thing.
Yeah, and one of the things I like about it, in addition to that, is like they're in squads and they all have like a certain position. So I think it's like the little girl, I think her name is Chica. She's a sniper. Osamu is like the defender. He's not really good at like attacking, but he's a meat shield. And Yuma is basically the attacker in a sense. So I kind of like that. It's not just like it's one person. I got to get stronger. I got to be the best of the best. It's a team effort. And that's one of the things, like, you only see that kind of stuff in like sports anime as far as shonen. So with this being like a fantasy action adventure with the team element, I kind of like that. I actually really do like that about that. That's something that's different.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that too. Like, I do really like that whole team aspect of, the like you said, it's focused on everybody's role, and it allows kind of everybody to kind of get a piece in on this story. And it's, although it is you have your main characters obviously, but the fact that like you said, you got other people that got a piece of the pie of everything that's going on, and it's cool to just be like, okay, cool, let's see what let's see where this goes, or let's see like how they could affect the story, or how could they change throughout the story. Does their role change? Does this change?
Yeah.
One thing I really do enjoy about things that are centered around teams and whatnot is, you get to grow and you like with the team, and it's cool like when like it's cool to see like other characters like leave the team, or like someone else joins the team. Like I love that kind of aspect of like you can when you have teams, you can interchange parts so quick. I mean, now granted, you're gonna have your favorites that you won't move or leave for anything, but you got people who could go off and do their own thing, and that's a whole nother story, a whole nother branch that could lead to something completely different. So I do agree with you. Like, I like that aspect of they got this team, you're learning about these multiple people at like once.
Yeah. It's a good feeling.
It is very, but no, man, I'm excited. I'm happy this one. I'm gonna be really real. I'm happy this one,
dog,
because you don't understand how close Seven Deadly Sins won.
Oh my god!
And
I don't feel like
would have been messed up if we just like completely dubbed it. If
would have just been like, yeah, nah.
Speaking of the manga of the month, we're not actually gonna do it because
we appreciate all your suggestions. Like we like the fact that everybody who participated in this. So anyway, we're gonna do World Trigger. You know what I mean? Like, see y'all next time. Man. This was just a preliminary test. I'm glad everybody voted. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for stopping by.
I've watched it. Okay, I haven't read Seven Deadly Sins, but I've watched like the anime series on Netflix.
Same.
And the first two seasons are pretty dope.
Yeah.
That last season sucked. That last season was so bad, dog. I was like, I am not rocking with this last season. And I don't know. I've heard mixed things about, you know, the manga. I heard it's gone on too long. I've heard
all of that.
I've heard a lot of them. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I've heard that it's gone on too long. They're like, bro, they had like this perfect chance to like completely end everything, and they whiffed it, and then they have like
this extra arc for no reason or something.
Yeah, just man. So I don't know.
We'll keep that in the back pocket though.
We'll keep that. I mean, maybe it'll pop up again. Maybe it'll pop up again. But we hear World Trigger. So once again, thank you everybody who participated, and thank you to everyone who voted. And thank you. Just continue to listen throughout the month. It'll pop up here and there. But yeah. Once again, World Trigger, July manga of the month. You know what? Let's talk about the chapter of the week though. After a week without it, it came back. It came back strong.
Shit still was sweaty. Let me tell you.
It came back strong. It came back real strong because My Hero really went stupid with 276.
Oh my God.
My Hero really like
that chapter was so great.
It literally from beginning to end, this is just a really good chapter. The best thing about this chapter is they bring up something in the chapter that I feel has been hinted on like a couple of times before, but this is like, I don't know, I think this is like the first time they have really, really kind of verbally said it, but they're like, these, like, the news is reporting, what is going on right now, in Jakku City. They're like, bro, like the third of the city has been leveled. Like, the city is just under attack. They're like, man, this is third attack we have seen in like a year. And they're like, bro, what is going on in Japan right now?
Yes.
And I think them bringing that up is really crazy because it's like, bro, you have to really think like in this story, these cities are getting destroyed, like completely wiped out, and they're acknowledging it, and they're just like, bro, what is next? Like, what city is next? What is this? Like, and it's just crazy to see because throughout the story, I mean, ever since shout out to the Lookout Boys for this one, but like I feel like ever since Stain has been introduced into the story, and this is once again why he's probably top 3 most important characters in this whole entire story, because he continues to bring up this like idea of like, yo, these heroes, like, what are they really doing for society? Like, like what is really the hero's role in society? Like, are these guys really heroes? Or are they just doing it for the glitz? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it, and then to hear them, and to hear this news report, be like what's going on in Japan? It's like, that's one of those things where it's like, you could see society losing so much faith in their heroes now.
Yeah.
Like, they're losing so much faith in all these guys because they're now just being like, bro, we're supposed to be protected. Like, these type of things are not supposed to happen. Like, this is a reason why you guys are here and all that. And now, our lives have been consistently endangered for months,
Yes.
what I'm saying, for damn near a year.
Like, the only good thing about this, like, well, I'm not gonna say that this is not a good thing. Like, these niggas are in devastation, but like, the thing that I will say is like, we already had the incident with Endeavor and the high end Nomu, and how he had to fight that off and say, no, we still got heroes out here trying to protect us. And that one kid who was an Endeavor fan is like, can't you see he's still trying to fight for us? Like, the heroes are still here. Like, there's no reason to lose faith, especially since all the heroes have already evacuated the people for the most part. And you got what's his name? Gran Torino moving Deku and Bakugo to the this is the biggest thing that I do appreciate about this. The fucking map to show like what's going on inside of the city, and like so it shows Gran Torino moving Deku and Bakugo away from the evacuation area to the other side around the hospital ruins, and Shigaraki is following after them. So not only is he like moving them like away from the city and everything, they're moving them away from the people, from everything. So it's like, okay, they're still being heroes at the end of the day. Like we there are going to be casualties. We already had our casualties, but now we're trying to limit as much as possible because our job isn't done yet. We still have to contain Shigaraki at this point. So you got Deku, Bakugo, and Gran Torino moving all the way to, I guess this is a forest area, and then Shigaraki following behind them, and then Endeavor and everybody else just piling on Shigaraki. So that's one thing I do appreciate. Like, the heroes' work isn't over yet, and they're still trying to do as much as they can because there's still people out here who need their lives saved. So that's one thing I do appreciate about like that part of the chapter.
So I wonder, is people dickheads? Like, is society just a bunch of dickheads? Like, they just want to see the glitz and the glamour and the big battle and like, the superhero, but they're not like really looking at like all the little shit that they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're like,
that's real life,
man. That is kind of real life. Like, bro, listen, it's like, people wants the glitz and glamour. They don't like to see the people who are like actually like, on the field doing. They
don't like seeing the action on the field. They don't know like niggas' lives are in danger. Do you know how many funerals and like memorial services got to be held after this? Like,
no, yeah,
like this is
but I mean,
this is some big shit.
I think that's just one thing I appreciate about this, like, the story is how much they incorporate that, because I mean that would be a real thing. Like, if superheroes were real, if we if we had legit superheroes, that was like a legit job a human being can have. This is the type of shit that would come up of just like, are these heroes really protecting us? Are these heroes doing this and doing that? And like, how are they doing X, Y, and Z? I like that they kind of keep it, true to that. But outside of that, we see a very intense battle happening here.
Oh man,
with Big Shiggy, Big Shiggy and then versus Endeavor and Eraserhead, and it's wow, man. Like they are selling this man Shiggy to be as strong as he really is, bro. Like they are, man. He's damn near OP level right now.
Like,
I mean, he is OP. I feel like, but like, it's absolutely insane.
Oh, wait. This is a big thing about Shiggy too. So Shiggy is already dominating in the first place. Like, don't escape the fact that like this man pretty much is like superhuman strength, and Aizawa is just looking at him, so he doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that part where like Eraser is completely like wiping out his quirk.
Yes,
completely wiping out his quirk, and next thing you know, it's like he, even with no quirk, Endeavor is coming to attack this man, and he's just like bouncing off of him.
He's getting low dipped. He's getting one hitter quitter, bro. Like I couldn't believe it when Shiggy is standing on top of Endeavor and the Ryukyu. It's like, bro, like Shiggy, how much have you come up from being in that chamber? Like, you would think Vegeta would have got that power up when he was on Namek, and he was just sitting in the little chamber, just like, all right, I gotta go fight Frieza now. You would have, damn, bro, I shouldn't have brought Vegeta up. R.I.P. Vegeta, man. He had his time last week, but you know what I mean, like, but I mean, with Shiggy right now, like he's on top, like he's literally on top. He has the high end no moves coming out. And like the other thing about that is when he released that shockwave, that also woke up the high end Nomu, so they're on the way.
Yeah.
So it's just like, bruh, like how are they gonna make it out of this? Like, what do you expect to happen after? Like, when I first read this chapter, bro, at the end of this, I was like, oh my god, I don't even know how they're gonna make it out. Like, everybody is coming to finish off all of these heroes at one time. The high ends, Gigantomachia, Shiggy just like smashing niggas with one arm.
It's dog. Then that's what I'm saying. Like, this shit is so intense, and like it really is just the beginning of everything that is about to like really fucking pop off.
Yes.
Like, it is so fucking crazy right now of just everything. You know, like Gran Torino. Having that conversation with Bakugo and Midoriya, just pretty much being like, listen, Midoriya, if you lose your powers, like he now has the powers for All for One. If you lose your powers, we are
dead.
We are ass fucking out. And it's crazy because Gran Torino, All Might, Bakugo, Deku. Those are the only 4 people right now that really truly understand like kind of the deeper level story.
The gravity of the situation and like
what
everything actually means.
Like everyone just thinks like, damn, this dog Shiggy just got all this damn power. Like, oh, what the fuck? Like, where did he come from? But it's like they don't understand that Deku and Deku also has a power in which that matches his, and it's like this a very intense moment of Deku is not finished like training. Like Deku is not completely finished mastering anything, and like all this is happening, and they're just like, bro, we have to protect you and like save you, but at the same time, we have to find a way to stop this guy. It's just such a conflicting situation. But
you know what this kind of reminds me of? This my bad, bro, but it like when you started talking about that, it literally reminded me of like Naruto with like the 9 tails. Because, like, you know how everybody was trying to come after the 9 tails to revive, like, the 10 tails and everything like that? It literally reminds me of that. Like, Deku is Naruto. He's just like, everybody's coming after you. You have this power. But nobody really understands. But in this case, nobody understands why. And when they make it out of this, depending on how many casualties, I want to know, personally, how many people are going to find out, like, why Shiggy is even after Deku in the first place. Like...
Yeah, like, people don't understand, like, he still has to protect his damn secret.
Yes.
Like, he still has to protect his secret throughout all of this. And so it's like, even him making, like, little decisions of running to the battlefield instead of running to, like, the lines to evacuate people, that's, like, little things that are, like, putting his whole everything at jeopardy.
Yes.
Like, everything at jeopardy. And that's, like, that's crazy, right? Like, to really think, like...
But you got to think about that gravity, because it's like if he was still out there, how many hostages could Shiggy have taken while Deku is like with them?
Yeah.
So it's like
he has that he has that constant stress of like, bro, he has to decide, do I how do I protect my secret, but at the same time handle my obligation of defeating this villain that I'm like sworn to defeat.
Yes.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Of just like, and also just them not everyone knowing that that's the true situation here.
Exactly.
And then how they're going to continue to try to keep this secret safe. Like, I mean, that's a big reason why even Gran Torino came in. He's just like, I have to keep you safe.
Yes. I
have to make sure that nothing happens to you because no one else truly knows.
Yes.
I know though, my guy. I'm tapped into the streets. I know. And so, listen, Gran Torino is like, listen, help me.
He's an OG. He still know the game.
He's the OG. He been in the game, what, three successors. This is the third successor he's done had like direct contact with. So like he's like, bro, listen, I know how the fuck this is all supposed to work and supposed to go. And and even within his old knowledge and all the knowledge he has, the 2 lads do not listen to him
at all.
Stay back and hide
at all.
I mean, and why would anyone ever expect these two to why would you ever expect these two to sit back and just chill? I think, okay, but before we get into that, we gotta give praise to that. We gotta give praise to Eraserhead.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Oh my god, bruh, the speech.
the speech, bro. The fact that he was really riding for his class right now. He said, "Nah, bro, like it don't matter. Like I could escape, I could run." He was like, "Nah, like one of us is gonna die." He said, "Me is gonna you, like, but you ain't finna, it's really crazy just to see Tozawa here." Like at this point, because it's like you first get introduced to him, he's kind of just like, bro, I don't fucking care.
Yeah,
he's just hard ass teacher. He expels many students. He's this and he's that. They they have built him up. And he's like now seeing him, they're just like he loves these kids.
He does.
Like he loves.
He is like teacher of the year. Like he is legitimately going hard for these kids. He's putting his life on the line to make sure that he still wants to be alive to see them grow because all of them are unique and they have become so a part of him. It's like you can't help but love Aizawa in this situation. Bro, I want you to know, like, really, like, after I read this chapter, I sat down, I listened to, like, probably half the soundtrack for My Hero just to, like, listen to, like, the hype-ass music for the shit that just went down, like, the strings of, like, the emotional stuff.
When this gets animated, gets animated, real tears are happening.
Real life tears.
Real life tears are happening, dog. I want to be able to know. Nah, like I don't listen. I know y'all be trying to act tough. Y'all ain't tough because y'all gonna be sitting there crying with us, bro.
Exactly. Like, go ahead and share that thug tear if you got to, bro. Everybody gotta have one.
Listen, shout out to the homies, bro. Like for real, like these dudes really. Man. Eraser, man. Like when all this gets animated, it's going to be just bonkers, just absolutely bonkers. This is going to be on a whole nother stratosphere. I don't really people think understand. Like, man, like My Hero is next season is going to be so just crazy.
Next season is going to be wild.
Season 4, bro. Like, man, like for people who don't know, I'm never trying to be this type of person where I just be like, you need to read the manga. But this is one of those ones I'm like, bro, you need to read the manga because what comes next is so absolutely
insane.
Like,
it's fucking wild. Insane. Like I don't blame people for wild. Like watching the anime because like when you get the best of both worlds, and like I congratulate the anime team for this spectacular job. Like everything that they do with the anime is amazing. Like I can't think of like in my eyes, I can't think of a single bad thing. The music is good. The voice acting is great. Shout out to Zeno. That man for Hawks, amazing.
Shout out to him. Shout out to him. He pulled up on the Lookout Boys and, shout out to Zeno, man.
Shout out to the Lookout for But it like with the anime, like I don't blame but read the manga. Please read the manga because you're gonna understand like why we go so hard, and it's gonna even make you even more hype. Like when you go and watch the anime for that season, because the next season is gonna be something completely different. Like I don't think people who are anime onlys realize the gravity of what next season is about to be. Like you're not even really about to see heroes. Like straight up. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. You're not finna see
yeah.
If you listening to this, you're not finna see no heroes.
Yeah, nah, like, and that's the best part about it is that they completely pivot from the heroes. They give us a break, and I appreciate that they give us this slight break from the heroes. They give us a slight break of like what's going on, and they really, 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 really dive into the villains. And like My Hero does such a good job of making you even like the villains in the story. It's just how they write them, how they look, all these things. Like, man, the villains in My Hero are so tight.
Yes.
Like they're just as they're just as dope as the heroes.
Exactly.
So it's cool for them to sit there and be like, you know what, like let's lean into that. Let's lean into another aspect of this show and the story of just like that everyone loves and enjoys.
Yes, exactly. And it's like how all of the designs for all of the villains, especially in this next season, is going to be so crazy because you get to see we see them in the chapters now that we're reading, because you see like the ice guy from the Liberation Army. You see you see half the Liberation Army has already appeared during this trial. But then when you get to the anime and we see all of them in like the foundation, and when everybody else gets to see them in the anime, and they're gonna find out about the Doctor. I can't wait for everybody to see the Doctor, bro, because that's when we really first realized the Doctor is who the Doctor is, bro. Like from episode 1, chapter 1, who told Deku he ain't have the quirk. Like,
oh yeah,
like this is when we first see him, and it's like when everybody sees that, I hate to say that like as a spoiler, but I feel like if you're listening to this manga podcast and you're already on this latest chapter, like I feel like you should already be aware of where we're going. But that being like, sorry for the spoilers in any case, but I just can't wait. I can't wait personally.
Yeah, same. But no, man, My Hero, another great chapter. Like one last thing, I mean, just that last panel, obviously, Deku Bakugo coming into, Mills brought something back of just like, the first legit, what even got All Might to even want to give Deku the power is like the fact that he's like, the way you're a hero is pretty much when you run into danger. Like you don't even listen to your mind. Like your body just
body just reacts.
Your body just reacts. And like Mills brought that out. He's like, bro, that's the first thing I thought. I'm like, dang, like that's really crazy. Like, I think that's just the wild thing about this chapter is you just see just where especially just reading it from the beginning to here, you just see where Deku was at before first learning his power to seeing him at now. You even see Bakugo, who is just like. Who hated this man, who absolutely despised this man, is now like running into battle with him, life or death.
And not only that,
save his teacher to save these people.
Not only that, but like if you remember, like just like what Mio said, but in every case, Bakugo has always been the one that needed rescuing, but now he's the one that's like it's his turn to, and that's his last words. It's our turn. It's Bakugo's turn to like show up because Deku is always the one to run in, but like Bakugo is always the one to get saved. But now we get to see Bakugo's chance to like actually shine and repay his debt because you see Bakugo's frustration after all of these incidents. Like he's the reason why All Might lost his powers. He's the reason like why can't he be the one to be like acknowledged? Why is he always the one to let people down or make them lose themselves in the midst of trying to save him? You know what I mean? So like I appreciate like this entire that last page, that last panel, everything like just perfection, bro. Like it's so fucking hype. That's the best way I can describe it, bro. It's so fucking hype, bro. Like oh man.
Yeah, dog. Just a great chapter, especially just being gone for gone for a week. I mean, it's with everything else now, the other big stuff kind of ending. It's My Hero is definitely I wouldn't say it's back on top because I'm never gonna say it like left the top, but it's kind of just like all right, it's having this moment again. You know what I'm saying? Like My Hero, the hottest thing smoking right now. But speaking of great things that are happening, we gotta talk about this this chapter of. I can't wait till we say episodes.
Oh my
I can't wait till we can say episodes.
Dog, I can't wait till we say episodes. We might have to do some reviews on those, like or like partner with the Lookout,
bro,
or something.
I can't wait for the episodes of these. But no, we're gonna talk about the chapter of Spy Family.
So great.
Listen, this is another really good chapter. It was a little things. It was a little things that did it for me this chapter.
Yes.
It was a little things. Like first of all, the assignment, as soon as she said that you got the assignment where it's like you got to talk to your parents about an occupation or anything like that. I love how she immediately goes to her mom. She goes to Yor and she goes like, "Hey mom, what's your job?" And she's like reading her mind and she's seeing all this imagery of her and Yor her and Yor doing assassination work together, and like she's killing him. She slices the dude's throat, all the blood gets on Anya. Like it's so so graphic. It's so damn graphic and it's so damn intense. And the funniest shit is like you see Anya like in the panels, like you see Anya's like shocked face, like she's just like lagging behind, just like, bro, what the hell?
And she gets splashed by the blood too. Like she just sitting there just watching her mom just mutilate niggas just like left and right. She's just like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, she's stuck. She's like, she's lost. She's like, bro, I don't know what is going on. What the heck it's funny because it's just all in her mind, but it's all of these things, and then Anya's finally like, I'll just ask that.
It's so good.
And I can't wait till they start tapping back into Yor being like the whole Yor being an assassin.
Yeah.
I think like Lloyd being a spy and like his mission is such a big part of this story, but I can't wait until we get back to like Yor doing missions, Yor taking people out. I hope Yor takes somebody out that like Lloyd needed to keep alive. Like that man.
You know it'd be wild. My bad. Go ahead.
No.
I was about to say the one thing that would be wild if she gets a contract and it says Twilight on the paper and it's Lloyd. Like that's gonna. That would be the wildest thing.
That would be the wildest shit. But it's like it's crazy because it's like I don't think Lloyd's thing is that no one really knows who Twilight is. Like no one knows that's actually him. So if someone even ended up like a secret whatever, a secret whatever ended up getting a picture of him and like connects him to being Twilight and hits her like, yo, you need like that would just be so insane because like once again, no one knows who he is. Like no one knows his face.
Exactly.
That's what makes him like the ultimate spy. So that would just be, that shit would be crazy. Ooh. That would be so crazy. Man, but
anyway.
No, in this story though, but like there are little things that kind of tie into that whole like his kind of identity being on the line.
Yeah.
He brings, so Anya, asks him, like, hey, take me to the office. She brings him to the office, where he's a quote unquote psychiatrist.
Yeah, he works at a hospital. He works at like the capital's like biggest hospital or whatever like that.
Yeah. And he works with the psychiatric, like everything. Brings her in. He's like, it's secretly a layer for him and his spy agency where they do all their other stuff. But he brings her to the office and he's like, I got to keep her away from the bookcase. Like she's about to find the secret thing, but not knowing she can read minds, she mess around. She's like, oh, word, secret lever. But like, I'm a little bad kid. Bro.
I was about to say she a badass. She a little badass. She made a face. She was like, I'm about to get you.
Did she make that smirk? She was like, yeah, all right.
It sounds good. All right.
It sounds good. All right. But like you thought this was about to happen. But no, so she finds this man's secret. She finds his secret, like, his secret escape. She finds kind of all these other things. She writes it in a report. Like all these things happen. Wait, before we get to that. The funniest part of all this is when she plays in the sandbox and Lloyd is like, you're an psycho.
Like this could tell me a deepest like into your mind, and it's just like utter chaos. She just threw all the sand on the toys and shit. I'm just like, God damn. Oh my god,
bro. He really goes. He's really goes like, you are just pure and utter chaos.
Like what is going through your mind? Like
he is so like, bro, what is going on? Like he is so lost on what that.
Like he's like, did I fail as a father? Like where did I go wrong? Like he actually started questioning himself. He's not even like a real parent. He's like, bro, I'm not a real parent, but maybe I should start being one. Like maybe I should take her out to dinner or something. Like maybe we should play games. Like this, that, and the third. He really starts questioning himself, and it's like, dog, you don't realize that she was just trying to like be nosy. And wait, one of the better parts, this entire chapter was funny when she goes into the secret passage and like she's above like the meeting room or whatever like that, and these guys are talking about like ghosts and like how there are ghosts in the hospital. Like no, we're just hallucinating. And she makes a noise up there. They're like, did y'all hear something? And then she just like scrambles back up the shaft. And it's like, bro, maybe we should like reevaluate our stance on this matter. Like,
bro, they was in there smoking loud. Those are that's high conversations. That is high time. They were in there passing the backwood around. Hey, it's blunt. Hey, you think there's ghosts in this hospital, dog?
Yeah.
I think it's ghosts in this hospital, dog. Man, oh my god, man. This chapter was just too funny. But no, I know. But at the end though, when like she's reading the report to her class, and obviously Anya's a 6-year-old, so she doesn't have any understanding, like most 6-year-olds, of like language. And like how it's used and the context language is used in. So she's like reading her report and she's like saying her dad's like stuff words for words, and she's pulling in kind of some personal parts of like
how she feels about it, like how she viewed like when she was going around,
and like how she views and like in the stuff that she knows. Because once again, she's a psychic. All the stuff that she's done read in this man's mind, she's like putting this and that. The fact that they started off with my papa is a spy, a psychiatrist. That's just so funny, dog. Like,
I was like, wait, are you about to say the whole thing?
Nah. Oh, bro, I thought she was about to out my guy. But no, so like, she's reading it. She's talking about like, he's determined to make connections. To build relationships based on trust. He carefully observes his targets, like saying all this stuff. And at the end, it even goes, when summoned to the school, Lloyd talked his way out of things with incredible exclamation skills. It's just like, I don't know. I just like that. I like that slight hint of slip up of just like, yo, like his whole shit would have got blown. That would have been wild.
That man Lloyd got the proper word game, bro. Like that man.
Man, listen, he was in there. He was talking slicker than a pimp, bro. Like, man, he was in there like, nah, bro. Listen, kids be crazy. That was his. But man, this will wrap up this episode of the Big Eyes Podcast. Once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Follow the Lookout RNC on Twitter, on Instagram, and if you're a fan of podcasts, follow the RNC Radio Live. Follow me on Twitter at Jamal SLM, where I tweet about manga and a bunch of other things. But I try to keep it mostly manga related. And follow me on IG where I post cooking stuff.
Bro, I need the recipe. I need the cookbook coming soon because you know what I mean.
Oh man, hopefully soon. AD plug.
Follow me on Twitter at 1ADZL. That's 1A Dizzle. You can follow me on Instagram at that, but I don't be on Instagram like that. But follow me on Twitch at 1ADZL. I'll be playing a lot of games. Yeah, I think that's about it. Read more manga.
Yeah, man.
Watch more anime.
Read more manga. Watch more anime. Drink more water. Y'all know what it is. Be safe. Peace. Anya really almost like blew his shit though.